Hi guys, I'm Cole, and today we're going to talk about how to create a new email address. In today's day and age, email is essentially a form of identification. It's required for shopping, for your devices, and even to access healthcare. But many of us might have found that we forgot the password to our old email, or someone in our family lost the password, or we just want to create a new one for a telehealth account. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk you through how to create a new Gmail account as an example. And I'm going to walk you through on an iPhone, but the process is going to be very similar if you're using an Android device. We're going to go step by step. There are many steps to this process, and it is not super simple. So we want to take it slow. We'll have in detail zooms of the screen so that you can view each step and all the gestures that I have to go through in order to create the account. And as always, we will have resources and QR codes below so that you can scan and check out this video later or look at a how-to guide. So let's jump right into it. And what we're going to do is we're creating an email address. So first, I'm going to go to my browser. And on my iPhone, the common browser is Safari. Some people have Google Chrome on their iPhone or Android, but I'm going to use Safari just to enter the internet. And if you see a screen like this that looks like Google, that's great. That's a great place to start. Or alternatively, you might find yourself just in the general Safari landing page for the browser. Either one works. If you are on the Safari landing page, you're going to click on this search or enter website box. If you're on Google, it would be right here, that box that has a little magnifying glass on it. But let's just start with this. I'll tap on the box and I'm going to type in create Gmail account. Now what this is this is a search on the internet, essentially searching Safari's browser for information about creating a Gmail account. And what I see comes up is Google Help is the first one to come up that says create a Gmail account. Now you might have seen on my screen, there was a pop-up from Gmail, from Google, asking me if I wanted to sign into my account. We're not going to do that. We're going to go straight to this link from Google Help. And you can see the URL is support.google.com. So if you don't see it up there, you can always scroll down to look for other options. But for me, it's right on top. So I'm going to tap on that. And then it's going to take me to a Gmail help page. It gives me the option to sign in. But for today, what we're focusing on is how to create an account. So what I'm doing is I'm going to just lightly scroll down on my screen and tap on create an account. It's a blue box or a button. I'm going to tap on create an account, and it might give me options to use email addresses that I already have. I'm not going to do that. So don't worry if you have different accounts already, you can feel free to use those and see if you're able to log into those. But if you are looking to create a new account, what you're going to do is tap use another account. It's going to take you to the Google or Gmail sign-in. But again, we are assuming that you're trying to create a new Gmail account. So in this case, we're going to tap create account down here. It's blue font right next to the next button. We're just going to tap create account. And then we'll see that it says for my personal use, for my child, or for my work or business. I'm going to tap on for my personal use. And then it brings me to the first field where I can enter my name and my first name and my last name. So if you are concerned about typing in all of your information, what you can do is just type in your first name, tap done, and then for the last name, you see that that's optional. They do not require you to have your last name in there. So I'm just going to skip that step. So if my first name is John, I'll type in John, tap next, and then I will be required to type in my birthday and my gender. So you can see they do answer the question, why do we ask for birthday and gender? This is probably for identification purposes. If you'd like information on that, you can tap there. But I'm just going to go ahead and type in, let's say June 25th. And let's just say I was born in 1954. Gender, if you would rather not say, you can choose that, but I'm just going to type in male, and then I'll click next. Now, this is the tricky part. This is where you are creating your Gmail address. This is the address that when you send messages or receive messages, that username will come up. So such as johnsmith12345@gmail.com or something like that. And most of you have probably seen that before. So the problem is that there are so many email addresses out there and people are constantly making new ones. So you're going to have to create a unique email address username. So what I'm going to do, and if you see some pop-ups, that means that your phone is remembering that you might have another email address on file. Again, we're creating a new one, so I'm going to have to create something completely unique. Let's say I want to put my initials, JTS 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I want to see if that one's available. I clicked return, and it says in red, that username is taken. Try another. So in this case, I have to be a little bit more unique. So let's just say I want to put my birth year and then my favorite number. So now my username that I'm requesting is JTS196429. Going to click next. Great, it accepted it. It moved on to the password. That means that it accepted my email address username. So as always, we want to be careful when we're creating our password. We want to make something that is strong and secure that no one's able to guess, but also one that we can remember. And I'm going to tell you once we create our username and password that we want to write them down or save them somewhere safe. So in my example, I'm going to pick, let's say my favorite quote is the early bird catches the worm. So I'm just going to do a capital T for the, E for early, B for bird, C for catches, T for the, and W for worm. And then maybe I will pick a number I like and throw in some special characters there. I'll have to type that in again. And let's see if I did it right. You can see they match. So your password you type in once and then you have to type it in again to confirm. They just want to make sure that you know exactly what your password is and that you don't struggle when trying to type it in the future if you accidentally typed the wrong letter. As always, at this point in time is a great time if you prefer to write it down on a paper, your Gmail username. That'll be whatever you put at gmail.com, and then your password, whatever you entered. From there, when you're ready, you're going to tap next. And your phone might give you the option to save your password. So let's say I want to do that. I can type in my email. So my phone's giving me the option to save my Gmail and password. So I'm going to select yes, save. So now in the future, it's going to know exactly what my username and password are, and it can fill it in for me. That saves a lot of time, so you don't have to constantly type in your username and password. From here, it's asking us to add a recovery email. That is an email in case you get locked out from your email, you forget your password, or you have difficulties logging in. You're going to provide them with your recovery email address so that they can send a code or they can reach out to you on that email in order to gain back access. It's essentially like a spare set of keys to your new email address. So you can skip it if you want. I'm going to go ahead and type in another email address that I have as my backup, essentially. I'm going to tap next. And then from there, we can see review your account info. It provided me with my email address right there. And I have the option to review it and then tap next. Here it's asking me to review the privacy terms. These are essentially Google's terms and conditions about using a Gmail and some of the information and data that they might keep. If you would like, you can read through this. I'm just going to scroll down and select I agree. And then confirm. And there we have created our Gmail account. Now, again, if I tap on the top right here, I can see my email, my name, my email up top, and I can access maybe some of the other email addresses I have under the same system. But this is very important just to be able to create your email address because you might need it for telehealth. You might need it for shopping. You might need it for other forms of identification. And being able to create a new one is always extremely important. So there we have it. We created a new Gmail address. As always, make sure you write down that email address as well as your password. Keep it safe if you have a password manager or if you have a safe in your home where you write down your passwords. That's a conversation for another time, but make sure you keep that information safe so you can use it going forward. Thank you so much. Again, we have the resources below in a QR code. Please feel free to review this video later on. Stay safe and stay informed.